What's up, guys and gals? All you cool cats and kittens out there in social media world. You know who it is, baby. It's the Ghost with the most. Now, I have told you that we're going to make history on sWs. I told you that we're going to make history on Shootin With Shane. So, with that being said, I'm sWs. This is Shootin With Shane. With me today is the first ever tag team to appear on the sWs set. But they're not just a tag team. They are the AACW World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, contenders. With me today, I have Rooster, I have Goose, I have the Dirty Birds. Gentlemen,
we here, baby. We live.
You can go ahead and take that contenders off, by the way.
Flock, tune on in, baby. Tune on in.
Gentlemen, I know here we have a tradition. I know you guys don't want to do the shot, so I do want to keep tradition alive. So allow me to take this. And then, if you don't mind, I will indulge in your guys' world. Cheers, gentlemen.
Bird juice.
It's Corona time.
Guys, what's up? It's sWs. Here we go, Shootin With Shane. First tag team to be on this soundstage. Here we go, gentlemen. Let's jump right into this. Rooster, Goose, #1 contenders for the AACW World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. You're taking on BPP here in just a couple short weeks. October 15th, Carver Community Center in Kokomo, Indiana. How you guys feeling? Start where you want to start.
Damn right, brother. October 15th. I can't wait for the date. I've been dying. We've been training. We've been grinding. We've been posting. We've been socializing, social media, doing the damn thing. But I'll tell you right now, it's all going to come down to in that ring when the Dirty Birds face off with the Bulletproof Posse. It's been brewing for months. It's been brewing for months.
Yes.
And now it's time.
Rooster?
Like he said, we've been training our asses off, but there's been somebody talking a lot of shit out of their crew. One guy's been smart and kept his damn fucking mouth shut, but...
Say what you want to say, baby. Say what you say, man. That's what we do here.
Live wire!
Ricky Fat Ass Buns, he's got something coming to him when we step foot in that ring, and it's personal.
All right, guys. I know. Okay, I want to piggyback off of your question, or I'm sorry, your answer off my question and your answer off my question. I want to go right here really quick because I want to go with you, Rooster. Ricky Fat Ass Buns is what you called him.
Yes, sir.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
The feud with you two in Bulletproof Posse has become the hottest, the most dangerous, the most anticipated tag team match of all time. But when you throw the World's Tag Team Championships in the mix, the biggest feud in AACW history, gentlemen?
We've been in AACW for 3 months or so. Our first Battle Royale was a good show. Got a piece of a couple guys. But the numbers game kicked on in. And I remember it to this day like it was yesterday. BPP, Chaos, Buns, and I believe Knuckles or something. One of their other members,
Whatever
their
the hell
cousin,
his name
brothers,
is.
whatever.
Inbreds.
They ganged up on us and threw us out of the ring. Now you fast forward to about a month or two ago, AACW Fatal 4-Way Tag Championship match, and these boys snaked the belts from us. Now that shit's not gonna fly. We ain't seen them 2-on-2 yet, and I've been dying for that day. As soon as it's 2-on-2 and there's a stripes in the ring, their ass is grass. I'm telling you right now.
Rooster?
Couldn't have said it any better at all. The Battle Royal was a fluke. We were too busy whooping everyone's ass 90% of the match, and the Fatal 4-Way we got carried away was outside the ring beating some motherfuckers up. And, they took advantage of the opportunity, which is smart. Can't hate on them for taking advantage of a good opportunity. They got the 1, 2, 3, but not against us. Ain't happening.
All right, so I have went back and I have watched clip after clip of your guys' Fatal 4-Way match. I've seen things you've posted. I have watched things you've posted. I've enjoyed it. As a wrestling fan, I've enjoyed it.
New merch, by the way.
When you guys step in the ring, because I want to piggyback before we go to the next question here. I'm liking where this is going, so we're going to keep this going for a second because it entertains me. I am a fan of this match. This match is main event quality match, gentlemen.
No doubt.
I have been a part of AACW humbly. I've been honored to be a part of the company. I have not seen a tag team match that is more hype, that has more fire, has more burn in the belly than the Dirty Birds versus Bulletproof Posse. Tag titles are obviously on the line. You guys have a huge following. You guys have brought that to AACW.
The flock, baby. Shout out to the flock. Migration season. It's here.
What would that feeling be like for you guys if you guys happen to get the 1, 2, 3 count and you guys become the new AACW World Tag Team Champions? What would that feeling be like? Because obviously you guys are as close as brothers. We'll get into that. You guys are family. We'll get into that. But to have family and friends, the flock, as you guys have called them, they're going to be there. The most anticipated World Tag Team Championship match, in my personal opinion, in AACW history. What's that feeling going to be like to win the World Tag Team Championships if you guys can get the job done? That's not a diss. I'm just being honest. If you get the job done, what's it going to feel like to have friends and family there? The flock, as you guys.
That feeling's not going to be able to be explained. Because that roof is going to be gone when we get the 1, 2, 3. The crowd's going to be so crazy. It don't matter who's there. You better bring some earmuffs. That's all I got to say about that. Because it's going to be like wrestling in the state championship or the semi-state tournaments back in high school. Except for there's more on the line now. It ain't just some high school stat to check off. This is the professional. This is the big-time leagues. And it's going to get crazy. You think they're allowed just on our entrances and during our matches? Wait till we hold them belts up right in front of the flock. And it's going to be like a live concert.
Goose?
And I'll come right off that with there ain't no ifs, there ain't no ands, and there ain't no buts. We're going to bring the titles home, and we're going to bring them right to the flock right there in the Carver Center. So if you're in that little area of migration of birds, best believe you're going to hold the titles that night. We're going to pass them around. We're going to bring them back to town, baby. P-Roo, get ready that night, because the titles are coming home.
You guys mentioned Peru. Obviously, that's Peru, Indiana.
Yes, sir.
That's your
On,
guys'
baby.
home base.
On, baby.
You guys show your love, feel free.
On God.
Oh,
P-Town, baby. Shout out. Shout
P-Town
out.
repping.
What is that going to be like if you guys come home, man, with those tag team championships? I want to ask this personally. I know you two are going to be hanging out. I know you're going to be taking shots. You're going to be drinking beer. I know you're going to be doing that. Celebrating with pretty women. I get it. But to go to your all's hometown bar with the AACW World Tag Team Championships,
Goose Island.
if you can get the job done, what's that feeling going to be like? How are you going to walk into that bar with that World Tag Team Championship? How are you going to walk into that bar with that World Tag Team Championship? Is the first round on the Dirty Birds?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. We ain't going to walk into the bar with the belts. The flock is. They're going to have us carried. They're going to carry them themselves. And if I must say, the bars is the second step. We got to stop off at the birdhouse first and take care of a few things. Trust me. Squirrely bird, girly bird, you're hearing me.
Now, hang on, Rooster. Before you go into your comment, I have to ask. You're going to make a stop first. What's the house, man?
Well, I don't want to give numbers or addresses or anything.
No, sir.
But we'll just say it's on the west side of town, and you'll hear it before you see it.
Rooster?
When we bring them championships home, we walk up in Goose Island, a.k.a. the corner. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be
Now you got me intrigued again.
200, 250 people up in the bar, piled out, shots on me, shots on him, beer, whiskey, tequila, vodka, whatever you want. We're going to be partying up, and we're going to be plastered, and you're going to see about 250 people walking home because ain't nobody going to be able to drive.
Gentlemen, I want to jump off segment here really quick. I want to ask you guys, straight up, man, how long have you guys been a tag team? How did you guys meet? How did you guys become friends? Tell the people. Let's go.
You want me to start that story?
You do a little better at recollecting the first time we met.
First time we met, we were just about little boys, 10, 11, 12 years old, playing your classic jailbreak at the fucking park. You know, I tag him, he pushes me, we start scrapping, I bite him, like a dirty bird since day one.
Yeah.
So he bit you. You guys on the playground?
Oh, we took it out the playground. We went to the street. The old church pastor comes through. Hey, boys, you need to break it up. This is where we become friends. Fuck you, motherfucker. We run this shit. Don't tell us what to do. You ain't our boss. Kind of fucked up, but hey.
So it was like a bond.
As soon as someone tried to break us up, we became friends.
I'll explain a little better. he tagged me. I didn't think he tagged me. However it went, we got to arguing.
So y'all playing tag?
Jailbreak. You
Now
know,
Jailbreak,
tag,
okay,
jail.
yep.
That's a
I
classic.
remember Jailbreak. That's an old school game.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. That's old school neighborhood shit. A lot of people don't know about that.
I wasn't going to jail. You feel me? I wasn't going to jail. I was resisting arrest, so things got physical. Next thing you know, my arm's around him and his teeth are in my arm. Guy comes over. Hey kids, calm down. Stop. Bossing us around. We both look at each other. We look at him.
Dirty bird.
Take a damn hike. We got some business to take care of. And ever since then, shit, you couldn't get us off the same side.
So let me ask. So, Rooster, you buy Goose.
Yep.
Y'all get into
I've been dirty since day one.
Y'all get into a scrimmage. You buy Goose. Y'all become brothers instantly.
We've had our ups and downs like brothers, but
Hey, brothers fight, right?
you know, he got me into wrestling around my 6th grade year, 7th grade. Wrestled those 2 years.
How old were you, man, when you first got into pro wrestling?
Pro wrestling, like amateur
Let
on
me
the
do
mat,
this.
or
Let me say wrestling on television. How old were you? And that goes to you too.
22.
22?
Where I'm on television.
Bro, we've been
Pro
watching
wrestling?
it since we were
Oh, how long we been
kids.
watching?
How long you all been watching?
Oh,
Life.
watching. I thought you meant how long we've been
No,
doing
no.
it.
Lifelong.
How long y'all
20
been
years.
I came out the womb watching Monday
20,
Night
yeah,
Raw.
20 years.
Raw's
Okay,
War.
plus years.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
I want to go to this, man, because, again, dude, here's my thing. I love professional wrestling. I love it, man. I do. My son loves it. I'm going to get into that here in a second with Hoot. Too Sweet, by the way. But I want to ask you guys this. Let's do this. Let's do 3. Put it in 3, 2, and 1.
Okay.
You guys' all-time favorite tag team.
We might have a little differences here,
Here's
but
it.
it happens. You wanna go ahead?
I go first.
Let's start with Goose.
I go
Yeah,
first.
let's go ahead.
And like you said, we got a little differences.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Of
Third-
all time. Any company, it doesn't matter. Like, let's go there.
Third of all time.
Third of all time. I love tag team wrestling,
Now
man. That's the
let
thing.
me answer the question on that a little bit. Are we talking legit tag teams or kind of just 2 superstars thrown
got
together?
Legit tag team.
A legit.
Because
Okay, cool.
that's how I see you guys. I
Yeah.
don't see him as Triple H and you as Shawn, or vice versa, or Undertaker
Steve
Kane, or vice
Austin
versa.
and Hunter,
No,
nothing
I don't
like
see that.
that.
No.
Gotcha.
I see you guys as a
Cool.
legit tag team. I love
Sweet.
tag team wrestling. My personal favorite tag team of all time, legit tag team, the Natural Disasters. Earthquake and Typhoon.
All right.
Okay.
I thought they were badass. They were
Two
two
big
big guys.
big motherfuckers.
But they
Hey,
could get in
respect.
there and go.
Yup.
So again, your guys'
And now,
top
all
3
right.
of all time. Any promotion doesn't matter.
Now we going back and forth, or
Let's go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. So
Thirds.
Goose, you'll go.
Oh man.
So
shit.
third, 2, 2, 1,
All right,
1.
cool.
Let's do that.
All
yeah.
right, and y'all might castrate me for this one, but third all time, and they could be 2, and they could argue for 1. TNA. Beer money.
Jimmy, can we drink to that?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Love
like
me
that.
some beer money. Robert Roode, James Storm came together later.
Now, before we go to Roosters, I do love beer money. The the Boozer Cruiser with the tailgate,
Oh.
the keg, if you will. If you guys were
That's
beer
it?
money,
They were cool.
who's Robert Roode? Who's James Storm?
Robert Roode, James Storm.
he
think
definitely.
so?
I'm
he
smooth.
definitely
I would
rocked.
say I'm smooth, sleek, cool. He's rugged, rough. He's the wild card, man. He's
Yes,
the
sir.
wild card. He's
Okay.
definitely Cowboy James Storm, and I would be Robert Roode.
Absolutely.
So your third all-time tag team? I love that you reference.
Rush the Legion of Doom.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Hawk and Animal.
LOD back in that era, nobody touched them. They were nasty, mean, well built, just scared. You know, you're a kid, you see these guys with face paint and big old shoulder pads with the spikes, sometimes coming out on the choppers. Oh, you can't.
You
beat
know what I
that.
loved about LOD the
That's
most?
dirty.
Hard.
I loved LOD the most when Animal would do a lot of the talking. And right when Animal was done, he was like, "Tell him, Hawk, well." Like, he would go into that well, and I thought Hawk played that so well. Like,
Absolutely.
as you had mentioned previously, man, those guys were hard-hitting. They were, I will beat your ass. We are a bar tag team. So I'm kind of starting to see a formation here.
Getting the pattern.
All right, tag team 2.
Tag team 2, and I already
Goose,
got
you're
it.
up.
I already got it, man. And then
I'm starting to see something here.
when it comes to technical wrestling or getting in the ring, these guys may not be the best. When it comes to the coolest motherfuckers on the block and the coolest tag team of all time, I got to go with the Outsiders, man. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. As soon as the day they stepped into WCW, the way they did, that was probably the coolest shit.
Can we get a 3?
Yeah.
That was probably the coolest shit happened on live TV for a long time. The Outsiders, just flat out cool, man. Cool.
Before we get your response, Rooster Goose, I got to go to you really quick, man. I've always struggled, my favorite tag team. You asked me my favorite band, I'm going to tell you the Ramones. I'm going to tell you Motorhead. They're tied.
Oh, yeah, Motorhead.
You asked me my favorite tag team, the Hollywood Blondes and the Outsiders. Not one is above the other. Those are 2 tag teams with 2 solo guys that had a phenomenal career.
Don't do it. Don't steal the Dudley Boys. I'll kill you.
And
I'll fucking kill you.
apparently death is going to happen. But the Outsiders,
Right.
Hall and Nash, Razor Ramon, Diesel, Stunning Steve Austin at the time, Stone Cold Steve Austin now, Flying Brian Pillman, obviously now the Loose Cannon, rest in peace. Those are my favorite tag teams. So to hear you say the Outsiders, Hall and Nash, obviously we lost Hall, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to say last call for Scott Hall.
R.I.P., brother.
And that's too cool.
So that being said, man, before we go to Rooster second, I want to piggyback off this. I love that you said the Outsiders. Again, 2 solo stars. Why the Outsiders as the second?
And I'll just say what I said again, man. So like you said, you got Diesel, and then you got Razor Ramon from the WWE, right? 2 guys that 2 solo wrestlers, solo careers, right? But then you take them outside of that element, and you throw them in some fucking 80s acid wash jeans with a badass t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you set them in the crowd, and it's just like, stop the show.
Eating the popcorn.
Get these guys in the
They've
damn
all
ring right now. Who
Yeah.
cares about WCW? Get them in the ring. And I mean, it's just, I've watched documentaries. I went back on Peacock and watched the exact episode when they just flashed the camera over there, and I'm just like,
How real was it, man, for you guys before we go to your second? I have to ask both of you. We'll start with you, Rooster. How real was it for you guys? Because I know, like, what it felt like for me as a teenager to watch
This guy.
Razor Ramon
this guy.
show up. How real was it for you guys to go back and watch that footage and be like, damn, man, like, he's here, you know what I mean? Because obviously maybe I saw it, because I'm a little older than you guys, obviously. So I saw it live. You guys might have watched it, years later.
Yup.
But we all have that feeling of when we watch things, because hell, I go back and watch WrestleMania 25,
Yup.
Shawn versus Taker.
Oh, yeah,
That's
you
still
can't.
the greatest tag, not tag. That's still the greatest singles WrestleMania match of all time,
It's up
in
there.
my opinion. How did you
It's a good one
guys
to
feel? We'll start with you, Rooster. How did you feel when you first saw Razor Ramon, a guy you watched in WWF/WWE, show up on WCW Monday Night Nitro, walk through the crowd? He interrupted a match.
Yeah.
And then he teased his Big Buddy. Next week, Big Buddy showed up, and it was Big Daddy Cool Diesel, a.k.a. Kevin Nash. What were your guys' thoughts on that? Like, how real was that for you
I remember
guys,
when I was
man?
about 10 or 11. It's the first time I really saw kind of highlights of it because I was watching like best moments in wrestling history, and you can't miss that on a list like that. I mean, it was kind of like, who are these guys? Like they're just gonna walk up in another company and be like, hey, we're taking over. Like that just gives you this attitude like, hey, I ain't gonna take no shit from nobody. I'm gonna walk in wherever the hell I want to be and be like, fuck with me.
Yeah.
Try me.
Yeah.
Try me. I'll make you famous, as the Undertaker would say.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. It's. I mean, not right now, but when I watch the video, I just get goosebumps. It's like, and then you, like he said, watching the documentaries and learn the backstory of the curtain calls and them why they came over. And,
Click doing what the click
and it's
did.
not just in the ring. And they weren't just in ring bad motherfuckers. You go watch the documentaries, they're talking about them motherfuckers are in bars knocking people's teeth out. They were just some real life bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But you know, they're also cool dudes. And like I said, like we said, rest in peace to Razor Ramon. You know.
And like, not to like break anything, you know what I mean? But like I said, I am sWs. I say what I want. I do what I want. Obviously, you know, like, there's love. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to like do anything. But like, out of love, you know, for people, you know, that I'm close with in the pro wrestling world, shout out to that. And if you know who you are, then you know who you are. And, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, there's an iconic photo of the Click You know what I mean?
Yep.
But there's also an iconic photo of the Click, and you know, I think that's really cool, man. And you know, I think you walk into a professional locker room, and you know, you look for a buddy, and if you find a buddy, you know, maybe that buddy brings another buddy. And I'm not naming names, I'm not doing that, but I will say this: to what is, you know, it's cool, man. I like it, and we'll ride or die. You know what I mean? And I think it's really badass that there's just a group in a locker room that can hang out and do stuff. And
I kind of feel that we got our own little clique going, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just, you know, like, but anyway, you know, past that, so Goose, I want to ask, man, what's number one?
One
Did
of
you
the,
get your second yet?
I'm right here.
Second. I am so
Keep
sorry.
on second.
So
I'm-
you're
I'm
second.
interested as
Some
well.
of
So
the,
you're
some of the
second.
best technical guys. They were savvy. They were good. They had great physique. The dudes were styling.
I feel
They were
like I know where you're
beasts.
going.
Yeah,
If it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
get
They
mentioned, I'm
lied.
going to call you
They
out.
cheated. And
Okay,
they
it's
steamed.
totally not
The
going where I
Los
thought it was going.
Guerreros, R.I.P. Eddie. But, they did whatever it took to win. They were dirty. I mean, Eddie and
Say it
Chavo, they
were
could,
dirty.
They could wrestle toe-to-toe with anybody. And, man, just coming out on a lowrider, you know.
Yeah,
All right, let me ask you this since
They
this
were
is your
dirty,
second.
Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
Why Los Guerreros? Do you see your two-part question? Why Los Guerreros? And do you see yourselves,
Tell 'em.
you two, as Los Guerreros?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Because I can see some resemblance. I can see
Los
some
Guerreros did
inspiration.
some of the most
like,
dirty, heelish shit you would ever see, and the crowd would be like, yeah! They never got booed.
And
True.
if you remember
What did the
correctly,
Dirty Birds do?
If you remember correctly, last show, I took Alex Shaw's pair and I just yanked it out. And the flock was like, yeah! And I was just like, it's so low.
Does that make
Guerrero.
If
you
you
guys
can
feel
wrestle
like-
dirty and still get cheered,
Does that make you guys feel like you went home? When you're in another promotion, you do a dirty tactic, but the crowd cheers for you.
You could say home. Or
Does that make you feel home?
You could say home.
Because home is a place away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you bring a piece of home with you? Obviously you do.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make you guys feel at home?
I'll counter your question with a question. Were the Los Guerreros ever home?
No.
but they always felt home.
So whether it's AACW or it's Heroes and Legends next month, we're going to feel right at home.
Before I go into HLW, I want to go into this. Number one tag team. Of all time. Rooster, who wants to go first?
Let the
I got
Goose,
you,
we're
I
going
got
back
you.
and
All
forth.
right.
got you.
All right.
Here, wait. Demon! Get the tables!
The Deadlies.
The Dudley Boys, baby!
All right, I want to piggyback off this really quick.
Hence.
Yes, sir.
I was going to ask, but you guys just answered my question. I felt like I've noticed the thing.
We, to be honest, we started doing it, and then we watched them, like, we always go back and watch old shit. Old shit's better than this new shit. No offense to these new guys. They're like, this new stuff's better. Nah, fuck that. Non-PG shit, that's wrestling. Back in that Attitude Era when them dudes were, that was hot. That was everybody in the world watching it. But, man, we look back and we're like, hey, the Dudleys do that. So we're like, fuck it, you know. It's our role models, you know. We weren't meant to copy them, but
So role
it looks
models.
cold.
So you guys were like, so you mentioned role models for the Dudleys.
Oh,
Arguably one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
They're definitely they probably won more tag
Is that
championships
one of your
around
guys'
the world than
biggest
anybody.
inspirations? Is that an inspiration for Goose and Rooster?
Keep the
Is
shirt.
that-
Keep the shirt.
I mean,
Let
you
the
guys,
camera see it.
That's homage.
Let
man.
the camera
you
see
guys
That
it.
did
is
do
respect.
the what's up.
That is respect and homage to two great wrestlers and a great tag team.
From any company. I mean, no matter what company they
You know,
were, they
we
were at the
didn't-
top
we
of the
may not
food
have- we
chain.
Do
may
you want to mention, or should I mention who's on the T-shirt?
That is the Dirty Birds doing
Oh.
the what's up to old poor Ricky Buns Guns, the fat fuck himself.
Goose?
Sorry about your nuts, Ricky.
Do a couple sit-ups, man. God damn.
Rooster, let's go to you for your number one tag team
My number one tag team just came out with cold gear. I mean, rocking the red, the white, the blue, the nice little hoodies, nice little sweatpants that popped up. Not boots, wrestling shoes.
I know where you're going.
You know, they had a nice little manager who won the Olympics with a broken freaking neck.
Here we go.
Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, the world's greatest tag team, is number one of all time.
I'm so happy you said that.
I want to ask you because under the hoodie you gave me goosebumps, so I have to ask you. Shelton Benjamin, who has been one of my all-time
still underrated,
so happy you said that.
favorite professional wrestlers. He's in my top 5. I call him, personally, the workhorse himself.
Oh, yeah.
Shelton Benjamin. The gold
standard
of professional wrestling, Shelton Benjamin.
The original gold standard.
Oh, and that's just too sweet. But Shelton Benjamin, then you bring in Charlie Haas. I'm so glad you said that because those guys are so underrated as a tag team. They worked so well together. They have spawned off mimic tag teams since then. Otis, Chad Gable.
Yep.
Amazing tag team. Especially American Alpha. Because they were more of a spawn off of what the world's greatest tag team was. World's greatest tag team, let's go here. Why is that your number one? Collegiate athletes. The leader of the group, again, as you mentioned, won a gold medal. And, I want you guys to understand that. I really do.
That's not a gimmick. He literally had a broken freaking neck.
He broke his neck for America. And he won a championship for America with a broken...
He won gold like my chain.
Oh, it's true.
It's
damn true.
So my question is, why American Alpha... why the world's greatest tag team, Team Angle... I know you mentioned American Alpha. They were another version, but let's go with Team Angle.
Man.
3-part question. Why them? Do you see yourselves as that? And why them? What made them? Think about that question. Answer the first one. Why them? Do you see yourselves as that? And why them?
Well, like I said,
out of all the tag teams in the world,
it starts back to the Attitude Era. You know, Kurt Angle comes in as this, who the hell is this goofy wrestler, just hated by his hometown, in one of the interviews, he goes in his hometown, boo, he comes up, he just dominates the scene, and then eventually you get down the road, kind of to that ruthless, here comes Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, as they were known as at first, and you're kind of okay, they got collegial background, they can wrestle, they're okay. Kurt Angle's watch this, I'm the world undisputed champion. Watch this, He takes these guys and from to boom, these guys. Why? Because collegial wrestlers. We wrestled through high school. I didn't get the opportunity to go to college and stuff, but he did it. It's just, guys like that are what influence us. And there's a part of the Dirty Birds that's coming that are changing up a little bit that you guys are gonna see at the show when it comes to real wrestling. You guys are going to see what the Dirty Birds are really about because we can wrestle and fight dirty at the same time. And you guys are going to see a really mean-sided. And I definitely see some of the world's greatest tag team influence kind of our wrestling style. There's just anybody along those lines from Kurt to Haas to Benjamin to, Gables, your Jason, Jordan, Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Stevenson, Ziggler. It can go on.
I was going to ask, too, both your guys' opinion on Ziggler. I'm personally a huge Ziggler fan. Yeah, the Steiners, man. I have a gift for you guys, too, after this episode. I'll do that off camera. But I think it'll be a very appreciative one. But Dolph Ziggler, my personal opinion on Ziggler is Ziggler should have been... Ziggler was your next Shawn. Everybody's looking for the next... best. You know what I mean? You're looking for the next Flair. You're looking for the next Shawn. You're looking for the next Brett. All that stuff. That's what person is. It's, what does CM Punk say? I'm just a spoke on the wheel. The wheel's going to keep turning. That is what person is. You're going to be great, but someone else greater is going to come along. You're going to be influenced, whatever. Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, Ziggler was, a collegiate athlete. I know you both have that. I know your backgrounds. He's a Midwest guy. Obviously, we're Midwest guys. What's your thoughts on Dolph Ziggler? Goose, we'll go to you first.
I'm not the biggest Dolph Ziggler guy, I'll tell you one problem I have with pro wrestling right now, and you asked this question earlier, when do we start watching pro wrestling? My dad introduced me to pro wrestling as a young kid, watching in the Golden Area. Every freaking guy on that show was huge, ripped, jacked, and in the street, you wouldn't mess with the fucking guy. The problem with pro wrestling now is you look at a guy like Dolph Ziggler, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, I don't care who it is. You see them in the street, you whip their ass. So on TV, it just doesn't really correlate for me. And I hate to say it, but Dolph Ziggler's under that category for me. If I seen the guy in the street, there wouldn't be nothing telling me I couldn't just whoop his ass. So, you know, I could say different for Bobby Lashley. I could say different for Dave Bautista. You know, they might have a shot against me. They might. Brock Lesnar might have a chance against me. But Dolph Ziggler, no way.
Rooster?
I respect what he did on the mat, but, I mean, like you were saying, they're looking for the next Flair. Stop looking for the next guy and be the first you. We're not, I mean, yeah, we got some parts that are kind of paying homage to the other teams. I get that. Everyone does that. I mean, wrestling's been along so long. It's like, no matter what you do, someone's done it already. It seems like. Besides, you know, you're getting some of these guys like Ricochet that can do quadruple backflips and all this crazy shit, but they're built different. That's a whole different category. But when it comes to like, oh, he could be the next Flair, the next Shawn, the next Jeff Hardy, the next Goldberg, but be the next. We want to be the next us, the first us, not the next anybody. I mean, obviously, like I said, no matter what you do, you're gonna have a little bit of copy here, copy there, you know, stuff. It's hard not to, like.
Because everybody's done the move that you're trying to do.
Let's just
whatever,
take this for example. You know, we hit this move on old Ricky Buns at the last show, but as we approached the top rope, I didn't Devon out and he didn't Bubba Ray out. You know, that's their shit. That's what they do. So as a professional wrestler, if you're professional and you respect the sport or you respect the athletes that do it, you won't take their moves and call it yours. You know what I mean? So we hit the move and did what we did and entertained the folks, but we didn't steal their swag at all. You know what I mean? It was more respect than anything.
Gentlemen, I want to go here. I want to ask, let's do a two-part. Let's do individual, singles, competitorship, then we'll do tag team. Let's start with the tag team. Obviously, Dirty Birds. What's your guys' dream match? Goose, we'll go with you first.
Of any, like, team from all-time promotion?
Of all time.
Man, we've never talked about that.
Of all time.
I know mine.
Whether it's LOD, natural disasters, you know,
want me to go
members
first since I know
of
mine,
this
so I
group.
can think about it?
I've never thought about that.
My dream match, and this might come as a shocker because I just named my three greatest tag teams or whatever, but for me and him to go against the guys, the first guy is Santino Marella compared us to. I think once we get real good and kind of further along to where we got the really good aspect and we're super good in the ring, I would love to go back in the day and see the Dirty Birds versus the freaking Steiner brothers. I mean, 4 big meat-headed dudes that can technically wrestle, hit hard. I mean, you got 2 Dirty Birds versus a dirty dog and a just freaking nature like Scott Steiner.
I feel like I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it for the people. Steiner brothers. I was waiting for that to be brought up, actually, for both of you. I see, as a wrestling fan looking in through the window, if you will, I see the Dirty Birds, and then I see, because again, I've been a huge fan for a minute. I see a brotherhood. I see a brothership. Obviously, the Steiners are legitimate brothers.
Yep.
I know the answer to this, so I won't ask it because I've already answered it to myself. Brothers. Why the Steiner brothers? I get it. Why would that be your dream match? Why would you want the Dirty Birds versus the Steiners? If you did that match, what type of match would you want, man? Would it be traditional?
Out of respect for them, I would like a nice, traditional, smooth match.
Handshake before the match?
Yeah, I would.
No dirty tactics. Like, it's like, hey.
Oh, I don't know about that. We're dirty.
We're dirty.
No way, Jose.
We're dirty. Goose. What? Like, off of what Rooster said, why the Steiner brothers? Like, okay.
For me, it's every time we've gone to places, it's either you guys remind me of the next Steiner brothers or you guys are the next FTR type team.
How does that make you guys feel? Let's go off of that really quick. How, like, when you guys hear that, because I was waiting for the Steiner brothers to be brought up. Yeah. I really was. I have a gift for you guys later. We'll do that later. But, again, why the Steiner Brothers? Like, do you guys see yourselves at that? Like,
Why not?
compared to that?
So,
like,
we mentioned the world's greatest tag team earlier, right? They're hella cool, both collegiate athletes, both a lot of amateur wrestling accomplishments. You go back before that, it was the Steiner Brothers. The Steiner Brothers made the greatest tag team. The greatest tag team made Alpha Academy or American Alpha. They're the paterfamilias of all that, man. They're both went to Michigan University. They both all American in college wrestling. They're
dogs.
They're fucking good, But you put us in the ring against them old dogs. Even if you put them in their prime, I still think the Dirty Birds come out on top, dirty, clean, or even. I don't even care.
Rooster?
I agree 100%, but like I said, we went to our first show and Santino Marella, and he was like, 50 people in this crowd, and the first thing he does point you to, he goes, "You guys are a tag team, right?" And we're like, "Well, yeah." And he goes, "You guys are the next Steiner Brothers." Like, that's his exact words.
From Santino Marella?
Santino Marella, and you guys know him as a joke artist, but he's a real life badass. Well,
he's
stuff.
He's Muay Thai and stuff like that. Santino Marella is like legitimately a badass.
Something judo
national champion.
What did that feel like for you guys to be a part of that seminar? Rooster, we'll start with you. What did that feel like for you guys, man?
At first,
Santino Marella, like you said, guys, look, Santino's not a joke. Like, Santino is like legit. Like, that guy is straight up like, people. Yeah. I mean, if
Blackman,
you go to a bar,
Ken Shamrock.
exactly, like, he's a legit guy.
That ass.
What was it like sitting on the seminar?
Truthfully,
and then to hear him tell you guys that you're like the next Steiner Brothers, because that's obviously a big thing with both of you, being the Steiner Brothers. Hearing that, because you can sit with your friends on your couch, and you can hear your friend, "Hey, you guys are like the next Steiner Brothers. You're like the next Outsiders. You're like the next this, that." And it doesn't make sense until Scott Hall, rest in peace, or Kevin Nash, or Rick or Scott, or whoever says, "Hey, you guys are like this." So when you hear a guy like Santino Marella tell you that you're like the Steiner Brothers, we'll start with you. What did you feel, man?
At first during the seminar, I was like everybody else probably watching Santino Marella. And then, like you said, we actually learned what he did in real life, and that he's a real life, like them fake movie stars you see, or a fucking, I mean, I can't say Jackie Chan, he's a real badass, but you know what I mean, them guys that are on the movie hard asses, but in real life ain't shit, and that's what, but you go to see Santino, and you get to learn his real life accomplishments, you're like, damn, this isn't a guy I really would want. The motherfucker kicked my head off.
Yeah.
So once he got to explaining who he really was and learning the real background instead of his character, it was like, damn. And then when he comes out with, hey, you guys are compared to some of the baddest motherfuckers and jacked, greatest physique, bad gear, just, dude, it's hard to explain. But when he compares you to guys like Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame, when he compares you to a Hall of Fame class tag team, you just can't be like, all right, we got to work hard to get there.
Yeah.
We got to earn that right so they can feed us and be like, hey, you guys are us.
Another little scoop on that story was that was our first professional show, and like you said, we were in a seminar of 50, 20, 30, 40, 50 other professional wrestlers. We're just sitting in this big group, and he's talking to all of us, and he's like, you two right there in the middle of all these, 6-foot guy over here, 280-pound dude over here, big hair, big beards, all great wrestlers, But he saw us two out and was like, "Nah, y'all gotta look, man. Y'all got to look," type shit. So like, it was cool.
And it wasn't just Santino. There's some bigger names in the indie scene up there giving us the same compliments. Big shout out to Sam Knight helping us a lot, giving us a lot of compliments, pushing us to, really be confident about doing this stuff.
For sure.
I know you guys mentioned earlier. I know, obviously, we all hang out and stuff, but mentioned earlier. We were talking about Heroes and Legends.
Oh, yeah.
I love Heroes and Legends.
Me too.
That is arguably our WrestleMania for the Midwest and Indiana.
I could agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like,
my dad said the same thing.
Like, if Indiana had a show of wrestling shows, it would be Heroes and Legends.
Yep.
It was really cool to watch you guys, because I remember sitting there with the wife and the son and a couple of good brothers.
The debut.
And, watching that. And when you guys came out, obviously I knew who you guys were previously through AACW, but it was really cool to, see you guys come out at Heroes and Legends. Obviously, big deal. Battle Royal.
Battle Royale.
The flock was there.
Flock was in place.
was your
Small,
thoughts,
but it was
man?
there. I mean, 25's not
20,
small.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was separate entrances?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, they
Right,
wouldn't
that's
let
what I
us,
thought.
They
Okay.
would not let us come out together.
Yeah, that's what I
But-
thought. I thought it was separate
But you go
entrances.
walk back and watch that, and there's guys that's been in that ring 10, 15, 20 years, and you see two guys their first match, and the only two to get the loudest pop in the damn building back to back is these two.
H&L, man.
And when our crowd left, it was like crickets.
Well, I love Chris Masters, man. I'm a big Chris Masters
put on a
guy.
hell of a show.
Love him,
Yeah,
dude.
hell of a match that night.
Love him. I mean, I watched him as a kid.
What'd you guys feel, man, when you come out in Heroes and Legends? Like,
Man,
Goose,
so when we were
Rooster, what'd you guys feel, man?
we were
like,
there
coming
all
out?
day, getting to meet the guys, learn the business, getting advice from. I mean, we talked to some of the Darren Young, Santino, the Extreme
Darren's cool
Sandman.
guy,
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Legends, man.
Ming,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cowboy Bob Orton walked in the locker room and was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys show me where I need to go?" I was like, "Yeah, here, Cowboy Bob."
Yeah.
Went up to him, shook hands
Guys
with him.
like Hassel Jim Duggan and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, like,
Yeah.
super cool guy. Like, but yeah, man, we'll start with you, Rooster. Music hits, you walk through the curtain, Heroes and Legends. Again, arguably the biggest. Shout out to Jason Maples, too sweet, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing what you do for pro wrestling. EWF. Shout out to that. But yeah, man, how'd you feel when you walked out?
When we
like,
got
music
there,
hit?
like I said, we were there all day, kind of helping and learning and stuff. And, when it got time, we were backstage. We didn't know how many people were there. And it was quite a show out. We walked out and we just, you kind of get a little pops here and there. But when we came out, man, it was just erupt.
I want to add really quick, too, piggyback up before you answer about how you felt at Heroes and Legends. The caw thing. Obviously, the Dirty Birds.
I don't know where it came from.
Where did it come from, man? Like,
He might know. I really don't know.
I
where
will
does the
say
caw
this.
come from? Because you guys say it with your chest, so you obviously are like,
Right.
you guys are putting it out there, man.
I will say this. We went through a couple phases. Working some crowd noises and stuff. But man, the flock really just took to that one. And at H&L, we were standing behind the curtain with Sean Coletta, and I looked him in the eyes,
I'll call it up.
and I said, "Wait till you hear these calls, brother." And he, he kind of laughed. Was like, "Okay." He didn't really know me at the time. Rooster! Caw, caw, caw! And he looked at me and I was like, yeah. And then they said, Goose! Caw, caw! So, it was kind of a natural thing for the flock, man. They
It
picked
would
that
make
shit up.
sense. The dirty,
They picked it up like crazy.
The dirty dogs don't do, but like when Steiner and them was doing it,
I
you always heard the it just came natural to the crowd. And
It's
the other chant we get that's real big, the one that blows the roof off, and it got less hype. But when that crowd's in there, dirty, that was accidental.
Natural.
I was going to
Natural.
ask. I know the story. I personally know the story because, obviously, I love you guys, and we've talked.
Chant. I fucking love it.
But I have to ask, just for the fans that don't know. I know where Dirty Birds came from. I do know that. But the original name, from what I was told, was the Dirty Dogs.
Yeah.
And Dolph Ziggler and Bobby/Robert Roode debuted as the Dirty Dogs. I heard the story from Rooster, so Goose, we'll start with you. What was the story sitting where you were sitting with your brother, your tag team partner, coming up with tag names?
We were at the bar.
So as I
Exactly.
said earlier, I fucking love beer money. I'm a big Robert Roode guy.
Mm-hmm.
Big Robert Roode guy. He comes to the WWE and has a so-so, and
Still
kind of
so-so.
becomes a journeyman. Kind of becomes irrelevant and becomes a journeyman. But I'm still a big beer money Robert Roode guy. I think his TNA stretch was fucking awesome.
Longest reigning TNA World
Just
Champion
a
of all
Hall of
time.
Famer.
stud, a fucking
Hall of Fame,
stud
man,
in TNA.
absolutely.
And then you bring him to the WWE, and he kind of becomes a little journeyman side character, and then he teams up with Dolph Ziggler, which, like we said earlier, just two random guys.
Yep.
Not really a tag team, two random
Put
guys.
them together.
And they come up with the Dirty Dogs. I don't see dog in fucking one of them. Ain't neither of them a dog, man. So
were you guys more Dirty Dogs than what the Dirty Dogs were?
Oh,
I-
With
right
the
now!
original story that I've heard?
right now, I'm more Dirty Dog than the motherfucking Dirty Dogs are. But take flight, and you get in the sky, and you start looking down on mammals.
I know how the
Being a
Dirty
bird
Birds
ain't
name
too
came
bad.
up, but Goose, we'll go with you. Dirty Birds. I've heard the
birds.
story from Rooster. I will let you tell it, but I want to hear it from your side.
Dirty birds, man.
Dirty birds. It was dirty dogs, but couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
We
Thanks,
could,
Vince.
but we didn't want people to be like, oh, you're just copying them. It's like, no, we
Thanks a
came
lot,
up with
Vince.
this before there was a dirty dogs invented, you know.
So
So we were like, fuck it, we'll come up with something else.
At the bar, arguably two of the most vicious birds of all time, if you think about it,
Yup.
in the bird's history.
Yup.
Rooster and Goose, dirty birds. What was your thoughts at the bar when you guys? Because again, I've heard the story.
And,
Passing names.
a lot of people try to tie it to. I believe someone came up to me and was like, "Man, is that off of Top Gun? Top Gun?" No, not really yet, man. You think about a goose, right? You think about a white goose. He's sleek. He's clean.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the hair slicked back. You know, kind of moves smooth in the water, right? And now you think about the rooster, man. Rooster a little crazy. Rooster got them crazy colors, the crazy tail. He act a little wild. He's a little buck, you know.
The only guy to wake you up at fucking 3:30 in the
He
morning.
gonna be the first motherfucker up in the morning, going
Grinding!
crazy. And that just kind of explains us, man. I'm a calmer, more smooth cat. But when you pair me with this crazy cat over here,
It gets wild.
you get the dirty birds, man. A goose, calm ass bird, with a rooster, crazy ass bird.
And here's the thing people don't know about a goose. You know, your goose, like he said, they're calm, they're collective, they're smooth. But as soon as you get up in their bedding area, they're on you. They're on you. They're on you like bird shit.
Did the feathers go up? Because I feel like the feathers go up. You know what I mean?
They start flapping. They start
Protective.
doing their little caw, going right at you. They ain't scared.
So you guys obviously were sitting at the bar. You came up with the dirty birds.
Drinking Coronas.
Brownies.
Did you guys know, like, right off the bat, when you guys said the name, Dirty Birds? Like, obviously, I know the story again, but tell the people.
It
That
was.
was it,
It
right?
just wasn't like, you know. And Dirty Dogs. I'll even bring this back a little bit. Shout out. Fuck a shout out. Ricky Guns.
Oh.
Ricky Guns also shares another past with us, and this is one thing I don't understand for how that motherfucker's acting now. He's a part of Brother Nation, and we go back. We go way back. Our high school football coach was Ricky Guns' high school football coach.
Ooh.
So I don't know why the hell he thinks he's acting that way and can get away with it. I'll call Bob right now. I'll call Bob on you, bruh. But Bob had something he called the Devil Dogs, man. It was a shout out to the U.S. Military Corps, and he wore that shirt everywhere. So that kind of represented where we were heading with the dogs, man, because that's where we come from. Paterfamilias being dogs.
And military background right here.
Military boy over here. Devil Dogs, a.k.a. Dirty Dogs. It kind of made sense at first. You know, you get Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. They don't know nothing about no Devil Dogs, and they ain't no dogs. We'll let them have it, but, man, that's where that comes from right there.
I do want to say this really quick, guys, before we go to the next question. Obviously, you both served.
No,
You know what I
just
mean?
me. Just me.
Well, just you, but
While
you
he,
obviously,
while he was in
he
the
was in
military
college.
doing that, I was in college wrestling. So
but you served as well,
Yeah.
in my opinion, because
Yeah.
you have his back 100%. You
Yes,
know what
I
mean?
do.
Like,
Yes, I do.
so obviously, you served America.
Yes.
You know, you went to war. You did what you thought you
No,
were going to do.
I actually did not get the. I wouldn't say opportunity because a lot of them guys come back real messed up, and there's not much that we do about it to help them, and we lose a lot of lives over there. So I call it would have been an opportunity just because I would have got to travel the world, but I didn't get the chance to go overseas or anything. I was stuck here in the U.S., which, you know, I'm thankful for. I still got to travel and see new states and say, you know, I'm part of that. I think it's less than 1% now that's served in the country. So, you know, it was kind of my dream, you know, because I had a rugged high school history, and between him and our two coaches, Coach Fuller and Coach Hobbs, pushed me and turned me into a whole new man. And, you know, I was like, man, what am I going to do with my life? I'm out of high school. You know, I'm couch hopping. I need to do something with my life. I'm partying at 18, 19, just doing stupid shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm built. I'm athletic. I like to get in the scraps. Like, why don't I serve? So, you know, went in, signed up, supposed to go, backed out, pussied out, cowered out. And I was like, you know what? Went back a month later, signed up, and I left. I was gone, out the door, on my way, hit me about halfway. I was like, I'm going to be gone from my family for weeks, months, maybe years.
Yeah.
You know, and it's rough because I grew up, you know, I had the privilege of growing up, both my parents married and stuff to an extent. Eventually they split, but not people even have the opportunity to have both parents around. You know, even when they split, I still had a good relationship with both my parents and stuff. And, you know, sure, they were happy seeing me do football. You know, they never missed a game from 4th grade till I never missed a game of till high school.
A scrimmage or whatever. Yeah.
None of that. Wrestling, Mom never really. She came to some shows. Dad, I don't think he was never really big into the high school wrestling stuff. He liked, you know, the old school, you know, Hogan, Mox. He liked that era of wrestling.
Stuff like that,
once that came out, he was kind of over it, you know. But between wrestling and football, and you know, mainly my two coaches.
What'd you play in football?
I was backup running back for Goose, and then I was.
So you were running back.
And I was the defensive end on the D-line.
So you were running back.
Yep.
He was a badass defensive end.
And kick returner.
He was a badass defensive end.
You know, it's crazy too because
5'6", 200 pounds, and
rushed.
I wasn't getting blocked.
Came off the edge like
team?
a fucking bull.
Same team.
Through
same
high school, baby.
team.
Conference champions.
Brother Nation.
TRC champs, baby. 2016.
what did you do?
I was running back and linebacker.
And leader,
Linebacker,
tackler, and linebacker.
Okay. So when you really
leave
think
that out.
about it, you guys have kind of always had each other's backs, and you guys have kind of always.
We're a lot of people.
You're not going to take my partner out because I'm going to take you out before he.
It's
you
always
get
been
to him
it's been a rough
type
relationship
thing, right?
because the way I was in high school, and I won't bring that stuff up personally and say what it was because people like backlash. You know, I was mean and stuff. You know, and we were like brothers. We would just
wild card, bro.
We would just headbutt sometimes, but we were always, you know, he knew there was more in me.
When did
He
you guys
never gave
know
up
that
on
you
me.
two were like when did you guys come together? Like as far as like, not just
He can
in
put
wrestling, but like as friends. Like when did you two
He's got this.
like find each other where you were like, you know what, man, let's
Dude,
fucking do this.
I'll
There's
tell you
two
what.
different stories. He might have one, but I got a good one too.
I'll tell you my side right now. The Rooster is a fucking good dude. And the Rooster had a rough upbringing, and I didn't have a rough upbringing, so that makes us a little different. But I always understand that. I always understood that about the Rooster, and I was like, bro, you're just as fucking good as me. Let's do this. Wrestling and football. I was like, this guy is just as fucking good as me. He can do it just as good as I can. Not only running the ball, but wrestling on the mat. I wrestled for 10 plus more years than the Rooster, and his couple years he came out on varsity was a badass, and that's just a sign right there. Like, I wrestled my whole life, played football my whole life, and so did he, and this dude was just fucking a dog. So, like, for me, I was just like, bro, I gotta get this guy with me. This guy's fucking just like me. That's my side of things.
For me, you know, and like I said, we were really cool in high school, but I fucked up a lot of shit. But when I came back from the military one night, it was my dad's birthday, you know, we were out, and me and him had a real heart-to-heart conversation after not talking for a while because of my selfish ways, let's say. And, you know, we were at the bar, and, you know, I was asking him questions, and we got real close. And ever since then, it's just every week or one time a week, we're just always hanging out. And, you know, it was a pretty serious conversation about how much I've changed and how far I came. And I was like, this sounds weird. You always look up to someone older than you. Younger than me, and I've always looked up to him. Like, you know, the first thing I asked him at the bar was like, if I would wrestle as long as you, do you think I'd be as good as you? He said, absolutely, no doubt. You know, and same with football and stuff. And, you know, now in the weight room, I might have him in the weight room. And I will say I got him on one thing. He ain't got no move named after him.
You fucker.
But, you know,
what's the age difference between you two?
1 year.
1 year.
And that talk
98.
98.
Yeah.
And that talk at the bar, you know, it got deep, you know, tears were involved, but it was one of them brotherhood things that kind of finally just, I mean, the pieces were almost there, but there was that one missing. It was right there where I finally decided to get on my selfish ways and we could be brothers, you know it. And everyone's always thought we were like real brothers. We go to wrestling meets, they'd be like, "Hey, Raider." I'm like, "I'm not Raider, I'm Paulson." They're like, "Oh, you're his brother," and I'm like, Yeah, I'm his brother. Hell yeah, you know.
And like that's crazy that you bring up brotherhood because like, you know, sitting here with you guys for the last, you know, handful of minutes, you know, obviously you guys are tight. You know, there's a guy out there, Damien Neville, shout out, brother too sweet.
Big shout out. He's the reason. Well, he's the reason we're in AACW.
Very close to
Facts.
him.
Facts.
You know, we have our little group and stuff, but I feel like you guys have obviously the flock. You know, there is a brotherhood there. I have to ask, who initiated the handshake, the too sweet, the high five.
I gotta take that one, bro.
Who was the one that officially was like?
I gotta take that one, bro, because and I just share. Hey, follow on TikTok the _DB Goose, and on Instagram the Dirty Birds _IG if you want the full story, man. I got some stuff posted on my TikTok and Instagram that explains the full story. 2016-17, he was 160 pounds. I was 170 pounds, back to back. The duo, you would get pinned twice in a row. It didn't matter. You're getting pinned at 160.
Every win was a pin,
and you're getting pinned at 170. So that's where it started, and that was his senior year of high school, and we were back to back, and it just it just made perfect sense. And I would say that's when the handshake has started. Like, we had known each other for years before, we had played football for years before, but his senior year, it was it was him, then me, and that shit just solidified it. It was like, bro, me and you back to back, like ain't nothing stopping
every week.
Swear to God. Tip Valley, Wabash, Peru, North Miami, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Mr.
Bang, bang.
Fucking
bang,
nutsack
bang,
from Tip
bang,
Valley.
Bang. Double pins. 12 points, you're down already. You know what I mean?
I remember watching videos you guys have sent me, and this kind of goes back again to the original question. You guys were sending me videos, both of you guys, Jeff and Jordan, Goose and Rooster. You guys sent me videos, man. Like, I remember watching you guys on the wrestling mats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys were, practicing what you guys wanted to become. Was that the form of, like you guys were obviously a tag team at that time.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
But was that the form of, like, where you got, like, how did that go? Because you got to think about it. You're hanging out with your buddy, and you're like, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to suplex you on this mat, or I'm going to do this move on this mat.
That's when we started training.
Where did that,
I'll get to that story.
The start of our professional career?
Basically,
that's on him.
Another shout out, Jason Maples. He posted and said, hey, I need some guys in the Battle Royal. He said, I don't care if you're green, I don't care if you've been wrestling 750 years, whatever. He said, as long as you can take a punch, a bump, and get out the ring. We're like, cool. I reached out to him. I was like, hey, dude, look what I'm doing, like this, that, and it was like a month before we were joking, hey, we were going to want to be professional, Like, everybody dreams about it, but they kind of just make jokes about it because they're, like, not confident. We were confident. We knew eventually this day would come. We just had to find the right people.
And that's a big deal for Heroes and Legends.
Yes,
like, working for Jason, like, that was a big deal.
And he was like, dude, how do I do it? The Dirty Birds, we can do this. And I was like, boom, threw his name out there. They reached out to each other, got it connected, and since that day, it's just been, like, our friend, like he said, it started as my senior year, but it's just, with us both being in good ways and got a good mindset, no one will break us apart.
What was the first move? We'll start with you before we answer the question. What was the first move that you two did to each other? Where it was like, hey, let me do this to you and you can do this for me.
No, not the brag.
Because I saw videos of you and I've saw videos of you.
Not the brag.
What was how did that conversation go? Where it was like, hey, come in here and let me do this to you and you can do this to me.
It went back
what was that move?
Honestly, I'll give you the little story on when this started. We found out we were doing the professional wrestling thing, and I started coming to our, I wrestled, and I've been gone these 4 or 5 years after graduation. And never gave back to my community. Never gave back to them kids.
I'm gonna step off, but I can totally hear you.
Never gave back to them kids that looked up to me and looked up to him. And I was like, and I came to our sectional championship tournament at Peru High School where Peru did pretty good. We got some dogs. And our coach was like, hey, I want to give you an opportunity to coach. And, they started letting me back in the weight room and started letting me back in the high school gym. And, we was like, once we found out we were on the show, I was like, hey, we should set up this mat and practice our moves. And, like I said, not to brag, but I was like, hey, let's start off with something random. We started with spine busters, which I got the coldest in the game. I don't care who you are. Ain't nobody got a spine buster like the Rooster, and that's a fact!
I'm not even going to say shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even
it started with basic stuff like that. The spine buster, stuff that's, I'm not going to say the names because we're about to incorporate and finally put it in our
arsenal.
Yeah. But, some stuff that we're naturally good at. And, we're like, hey, we got to come up with finishes. We got to come up with this, like everybody does when they get in the business. But, man, it just, one after another, boom, boom, boom. It's like, man, we got these moves down so good. It looks like we've been doing
trying them.
Every time, no matter what move we've done.
Me and him did a match versus each other. We could do every move you ever fucking saw.
First time we ever tried it, we had a Canadian Destroyer on the mat.
Swear to God. Any move you've ever seen that we and him can do on each other, whether it's him doing it to me or me doing it to him.
Now, I was listening and I heard one thing that really struck my attention. You brought up Spinebuster.
Oh,
Best in the game.
I love this dude.
Double A,
And I heard the
Hunter.
fact that you said that, and I like that you mentioned said names. So I'm going to mention said names again. Double A, Arn Anderson. Triple H. Rooster from the Dirty Birds. Are you going to put yourself above
You got the clip?
Arn Anderson? Are you going to put yourself above Triple H, who arguably has the greatest spine buster besides
I'll answer this question
Arn
correctly.
Anderson?
Excuse my wrestling fanness, but let me.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah!
I like it. Guys, I want to go here.
You go watch that Fatal 4-Way and that night and see what Gonzo said about it. They said, damn, what a double A spine buster. The difference is, I'm better, I'm meaner, I'm cleaner, and I'm dirtier! And that's facts!
That's facts.
Guys, I gotta ask.
I'm just talking birdie right now.
Sorry.
Guys, I gotta ask. What's your favorite? We'll do a two-part question since there's two of you. Let's go here. Let's do favorite singles WrestleMania match of all time.
Oh my god.
And favorite tag team WrestleMania of all time.
Now, hold on. With singles, does it count like triple threat, Fatal 4-Way?
Singles.
Damn
One-on-one.
I gotta think
So
on that one.
one-on-one.
I got a
Favorite one-on-one WrestleMania match. Favorite tag team.
Because I gotta-
WrestleMania match.
my
Has to be a
favorite,
mania,
like-
has to be a tag team. Has to be a single.
My favorite WrestleMania match, I know this don't count for the 1-on-1, 2-on-2. I know people are like, fuck that guy, but in my opinion, it's one of the greatest matches of all time. It was a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Chris Benoit in one of the bloodiest, gruesomest triple threats matches.
And who won?
I'll say his name, Chris Benoit.
And that's just too sweet.
I know he was wrong for what he did, and I don't support it, but he's
But that's the thing,
one
too,
of the
man.
greatest technical guys in the ring of all time. If you
And
want to
that's
look
the
for a
thing,
guy,
Wrestling
speaking,
about wrestling.
yeah.
It just, like,
Other
but
than that,
going
he's a
off
piece
of
of
Chris
trash.
Benoit, just going off Chris Benoit, though, like, you know, that's the thing about pro wrestling. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are, like, afraid to mention that name.
No.
I know there was a meme here that was created with AECW, or not AECW, AEW. And there was a kid, or a guy, wearing a, you know, better dad than Chris Benoit t-shirt. That became a huge thing, you know, it is what it is.
That was
That's
fucked
funny.
up but funny.
But
That was a
you
deep,
gotta
dark
give-
joke.
That's
Good
But
one.
you got to give credit where credit's due, and I love that you brought up Chris Benoit because, like I said, that's what we do here in SWS. Like, we go raw. It is what it is.
But you,
Chris Benoit will always arguably be one of the greatest, you know, technical wrestlers of all time. And you know, like, I love pro wrestling, but I feel like it's such a sin nowadays to mention. We can mention Pillman all day long.
It's
We can
becoming-
mention so and so all day long, but God forbid if you mention Chris Benoit, and it's like.
And I mean, he did a lot worse than what these guys I'm about to mention are doing, but it's like the NBA or the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So-and-so's in the Hall of Fame, but so-and-so ain't because they smoked weed, or Ricky Williams can't get talked about as much as Adrian Peterson because he smoked weed, or this and that. Brett Favre right now, he's getting a lot of fucking heat, but he ain't getting near as much as Mike Vick for dogfighting when...
Yeah, exactly, and that was huge.
You know,
I
that's
remember
kinda
that
like
happening.
no, I don't condone it, but
That's
that
kinda
actually
like
back in the day that was a sport.
Well,
like
no,
cockfighting.
No, that's just kind of like what I'm saying is like they did the Benoit rather than, you know, you got this guy over here that's done just as worse things, murders
Snuka.
and this and this and this.
Exactly.
Snuka did the
this,
same
but
thing.
he's a legend, and you know, he
Yeah,
gets his,
yeah,
Gets paid
exactly.
the money
it's
to
Like,
get
money.
it off.
It's money.
well, you know, you kind of go back to where, you know, like,
And
let's
I'm
go
still
here.
not condoning what he did. By the way.
Let's go here. You guys
Don't
are a
think it
tag
that way.
team, so let's fucking go here. Your opinions on this? Edge and Christian,
Ooh.
the Hardy Boys.
Oof.
You had Matt, who had a real life relationship with Lita, Amy DeMoss, and then Edge had a real life relationship with Amy DeMoss,
I
aka
hated that they put that
Lita.
on TV.
Did Vince not take it and say, you know what, there's money to be made, let's do it, let's go? Because in my
made
opinion,
money.
that's exactly what it was.
Those segments for me is when the PG era ended. You know, it wasn't like it was PG at this point where Stone Cold could say, "I'll whoop your ass," Now you're
Middle
doing
finger.
Now you're doing a porn scene in the middle of the ring and making fun of your other guy. For me,
But not to mention though,
beauty-
Matt Hardy was buying tickets
and you
just
know,
to show up
yeah.
to whoop Adam Copeland's ass because
yeah.
it wasn't Edge, it was Adam Copeland.
It was a
Hey,
shoot.
I'm-
It was a
yeah.
real
you can get ticket sales and sell shit people that way, but I'd much rather have it be
Outside the
a
business.
Stone Cold versus The Rock beef, where just like Stone Cold beat him up so many times that The Rock wants to beat him up now, or Stone Cold crushed his car.
Throwing the Intercontinental title off the bridge.
Stole
You know what I
his
mean?
wife and fucked her in the ring. You know, that's just
But that he actually did. She actually did cheat on him.
right. But don't put it.
Yeah.
In that's not.
Don't
what I
put it on
was-
TV.
So my
That's-
question is,
That's not what I was.
that's where I was
personal
going.
stuff. That's
Right. If
Okay.
they would have just been like, oh, Lita's with Edge now, and there was a beef over that, rather than
in real
she
life, she
cheated on him, and they're real life about to do this in front of Matt.
And then that
that's
kinda-
where you
And
lose.
this
You
guy's
know-
literally going through a divorce,
Yes,
and he's going through
yes,
this.
yes, that's
and,
where you
know,
lose
the
me.
guy's buying tickets to just
Keep
to
it-
show up.
Keep
To
it
like,
as smoke and mirrors and characters.
Mhm.
You can make it real without making it real.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to ask you guys this: what's
Do we want to finish that last question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
yeah, go
I
ahead.
finally thought of one. One-on-one.
One-on-one,
I
yeah.
can't remember the
one-on-one.
exact WrestleMania, but it was for the title. It was Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle.
Oh wow. And Eddie won.
Yeah, Eddie
And
won.
he won the crowd and
right.
shit.
Angle had the ankle lock on. Eddie he cheated. He had the boot untied and slipped it off with the roll up for the pin.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was your guys' thoughts on obviously Chris Benoit winning the Big Gold Belt at WrestleMania?
About time.
Eddie Guerrero winning the Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania. They
was-
celebrated together. Confetti came down. You know,
The way
iconic
that
photo,
celebration just says it. It was a real moment for guys that's been together since
The
day-
Radicals.
Yeah, since
You
day
know what I
one
mean?
they've
Like-
been together,
Don't
and you
mention
know
the Radicals, bro. Don't get me started on
the
the
greatest,
Radicals.
the greatest
That's my
faction of
favorite
all
faction
time.
of all time.
Let's go here. Obviously, we talked about the greatest,
WrestleMania 5 or
your
some
favorite
shit.
WrestleMania match. What's your guys' most memorable WrestleMania match? Not your favorite match, but what was that moment that shocked you both? Goose, we'll start with you.
Ooh.
So we're a little younger than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But what was the match that you saw,
Man.
like when you first saw it,
Oh.
whether it was happened in 1983
Yeah,
or whatever.
So
what
I'll-
was the match that
I'll
was
do
like,
I'll
well,
do a
I'll
double.
be damned?
I'll do a double answer for you. My favorite WrestleMania match of all time, and I looked it up a little bit because I didn't know the exact title for title. Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. By the end of the match,
Ooh.
Ultimate Warrior's face paint is gone.
That was actually my first match I ever saw. I originally saw
You could not
Hogan
write.
and
You couldn't write
Warrior.
it better than that.
No.
At the end, where they're both holding up the belts, and Warrior's paint
Warrior
is
had
gone.
the yellow Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
I mean, it
yeah.
was
Paint-
the ultimate match because
the
like,
Indiana guy, by the way.
thing that gets me just so much about that is that by the end of that match, he worked so hard, his whole face paint was gone. It was just the Warrior.
And I think it
wasn't
proves-
painted.
it proved the
his
point
whole shit
of-
was gone.
It proved the point
That's
of
how hard he worked.
It proved
in
the
that
point for
match,
Warrior
you know?
because he usually had shorter matches. It was like I can work 30 minutes.
Exactly.
You guys hating on me? Fuck you. I can work 30
For
minutes.
me, that was my favorite WrestleMania match. But as a kid, the most memorable when John Cena came out with the Tommy gun.
Ooh.
CM Punk was on the side of the car.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
and Triple H was.
And a year
King of
later,
King.
CM Punk.
Triple H did one of his most classic King of Kings and came out in the fucking. Bow down.
Yeah.
That for me, I was like, it was like a movie.
Motorhead.
I was like, oh my
So
fucking
Cena
God.
World Championship
Cena
on the line.
versus Triple H
Spinner
in a
title.
WrestleMania match.
Spinner time.
And
Yeah.
Cena came out and shot the Tommy gun up in the fucking sky with the jacket on, and
Thuggin'.
both entrances were just like, ugh. Like,
My
oh
my
my
most
God.
memorable one, I want to say it was WrestleMania 20 or 21, whenever they returned to Madison Square Garden. It was, you know, Taker's been gone a year or two, and there's kind of doing hints of the Royal Rumble of fighting Kane, and he came back, and just the shorter hairstyled Undertaker with the hat going through the droids, and, you know, Kane was in the ring, and he was kind of like, this ain't real, you know, touched him, and Taker just right off the bat, just boom, 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 you know. It was a nice, quick 10, 15-minute match, and I don't know, it was just because it's like, where the hell's Taker been? Where the hell's Taker been? And it's finally like, dude, okay, like, you can't forget that. Or, probably another one, unfortunately, I hate it, but another one that kind of shocked me and was like, holy fuck, Brock broke the streak.
All right, let's talk about
Why the
Brock
fuck
broke the
did
streak
you do
for
that?
both of you guys.
Why the fuck did you do that?
Let me go here. I've always said this, and I will go on record and say this again. If anybody was going to break the streak, it should have been Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25.
Or Hunter.
Oh my god, I agree.
He
so
couldn't
much.
do it.
I agree so much.
CM Punk should have been the guy that
No.
broke the streak. He just dropped the
Wait,
championship.
wait.
What else can you do coming off the Summer of Punk?
Imagine this.
Let's go. CM Punk breaks the streak. He was so ready for it.
There's only 3
Let's
guys.
ask this.
There's only 3 guys in my opinion.
No. Imagine this. Streak never gets broken.
I've thought
That's what
about
it
it.
should have been.
It
I've
won't
thought
happen
about
again.
it.
If another guy tries to go undefeated at WrestleMania, it'll be, well, he's got to get 22 of them, or however many.
You know what?
Exactly. He's got a
So
top
there's only
taker
one-
now.
to
but
recreate that would be almost.
Now you think
Impossible.
about it. Now you think about it, and it sucks. The longest WrestleMania streak winning right currently is fucking Rob Van Dam 3-0. It's like
all right. So let me ask you guys this.
you ruined it.
Imagine it just never got.
And that was Taker's career.
And he
And it's-
beat Brock and then just
Okay.
rode off in the sunset.
Let me ask you guys this.
Oh my god.
If you had to handpick one person
To beat this streak.
in wrestling to beat the streak, who'd you guys pick?
the only one that would make sense, Kane.
No.
Yeah.
So you're going
I could
Kane?
go Kane.
Who you
The
going with?
only one that makes sense for me that would actually story wise would be added, or it would be in the golden era, because it seemed like they almost were writing characters to beat the Undertaker at the time, like Papa Shango
Giant
or
Gonzalez.
Kamala or
I'm
Giant
interested.
Gonzalez. They were writing characters in each year to beat him. So you let him beat Papa Shango, you let him beat Kamala,
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake, and get him bit, and then you bring in Giant Gonzalez, and he beats him.
He squashed Gonzalez.
You have to
Yeah.
write.
9
They
foot,
should
8
have.
foot
They
tall.
should have eventually.
He
and
squashed
Kane,
A-Train
Kane
and
could have been the perfect ride-in where like Kane just fucking had his number.
That Attitude
and was
Era.
like,
That
Kane
Attitude
took him out.
Era
Yeah.
comes in.
But it seemed like in the
Oh.
golden era they would write each year they would write a bigger, badder fucking character to take him on and have an advantage over him. Papa
Who is,
Shango. could
who
have
is
been the one that
Taker's
beat
greatest rival?
Kane. Kane.
As far as WrestleMania. Like,
Hunter.
you know, Taker's
Hunter.
going against WrestleMania.
Sean
You
or
know.
Hunter?
His biggest rival has to be Kane.
At WrestleMania.
They've only had 2 WrestleMania matches. Hunter had 3 or 4. Sean had 3 or 4.
Hunter had that one where he fucking tombstoned him and
Sean had
pedigreed
2.
him.
Sean had 2, and
Yeah,
Hunter had
25,
3 or 4.
26. Hunter
pedigreed
had
him like
3.
twice and tombstoned him and still didn't win.
That's why I was like 2 F5s and he loses.
Who would have beat Taker, man, like in Taker's prime? You
That's
know what I mean?
honestly,
Like,
that's where I
you
was
know what
like,
I
you
think?
have
I
to
think
go
Jake
back.
the Snake Roberts.
You would have to go
I-
back
in his prime?
to the
If I
athlete.
did say prime, I'd say Jake the Snake.
You
I
have
think
to-
Jake would have been the guy that had the psychological
And you'd have to-
damage to
Right.
match Taker.
poison
Bite him and
snake.
fucking poison him or something. That's what I was
Exactly.
thinking. You'd have to
The
go to
Snake could have bit him. Taker could have been. You know, you have this
Or
phenomenal guy like he's
Shango.
unstoppable.
Papa Shango.
Now, if you're
It
talking,
Could have
if
put a
he beat-
spell on him.
If he beat Warrior, Tunk Man,
He did do the spell with Warrior.
and then he spelled
Where he
Warrior
broke
fucked
Warrior
him
and
up.
where his heart stopped.
And we all were like, he could have done that to
Yeah,
Undertaker.
exactly.
now what
Like,
I'm
it would've been
thinking,
like, oh, shit,
if you're
this
talking
is
about
crazy.
like nowadays, recently, if he was still undefeated and someone's at the end of the streak, if they wouldn't have ruined him with my favorite wrestler is Goldberg, but if they wouldn't have ruined him and squashed him and kept him going, The Fiend. Who else?
No, I thought you were gonna say if they would have never ruined Goldberg,
Goldberg would have been a great one.
undefeated record versus
The streak.
undefeated WrestleMania. But it's impossible to have a guy that just never lost.
But I feel like another demonic
being Goldberg.
I feel like to beat Taker should have been another demonic type of guy.
Yes.
I
As
don't-
Shango or The Fiend or
Kane.
somewhere along those lines.
Even nowadays, you kind of got that dark carrying cross.
I gotta throw
I
Sean
don't see
in
him
there.
beating him, but
I have to throw Sean in there because
that match,
Sean
Sean came
was
out.
Mr.
he
WrestleMania.
could have been the perfect baby.
And that
Like
Sean-
that was the match of matches. It was Mr. WrestleMania versus Mr. WrestleMania. So my question to you both is this: we'll start with you, Rooster. Who is the true Mr. WrestleMania?
Taker.
Was it Taker or was it Sean, the guy that outshined everybody, or the guy that had a streak which was broken, but Sean today could get in there and still be the best in the world?
I don't know. After watching his last match with the Brothers of Destruction, they're all dog shit.
Well,
anymore.
you have to think though. Sean carried that match. Triple H tore the
Yeah.
pec.
We talk about
Kane's mask came off. Shawn hit the worst moonsault in his career, but Shawn still carried the match.
You're right.
Who is the true Mr. WrestleMania? Is it Taker with the unbroken streak,
which was broken? Okay,
or was it Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania? But then you got to think, Chris Jericho hugged him. He kicked him in the crotch. Hugged him on the way down. Shawn slid down. Shawn was the guy that retired Flair. I'm sorry. I love you. Who is Mr. WrestleMania?
What about The Rock? And that's the only other motherfucker I'll throw in the.
Okay, so let's go here. We got Undertaker, The Rock, or Shawn Michaels. Who is the Mr. WrestleMania? We'll start with you.
Stat-wise, it'd be Taker, but for stealing the show,
Shawn?
Easy, Shawn.
No, what do you mean? What about
so Rock doesn't get mentioned. So we're going Taker and Shawn.
Not for me.
Because I feel
Goose, what do you got?
I feel like The Rock hit that era where he was just a WrestleMania guy, where it was like, when it was Cena was the number one guy and The Rock came back to face him at. I feel like he kind of made a case for Mr. WrestleMania there, where he was only coming back for the biggest show.
Because he came back and that drew the biggest crowd of WWE history.
True, but who was the guy that always went up and beyond? That was Shawn. Who was the guy that sold more tickets? The Rock. But who was the guy that had the streak? Taker.
That is tough.
So it's like, if you had to... Okay, so out of those three,
tickets, though.
If you had to pick that one, is Mr. WrestleMania... And I'm only throwing this in there, Goose. Goose, because you threw Rock in there.
You know what?
Rock Shawn,
Hogan.
or Taker.
It couldn't be the Undertaker.
You got a point with The Rock because he had Hogan.
But Shawn had Hogan. Super kick heard around the world.
Yeah, but Shawn was being selfish and ruined the whole Hogan and Shawn thing with the overselling to be an asshole because he didn't want to go.
Shawn came down from the rafters at WrestleMania 12, the first ever Iron Man match in WWE.
I could put Shawn there.
So would Shawn beat Mr. WrestleMania? Would Taker beat Mr. WrestleMania? No disrespect to Rock, but let's take him out again.
Yeah.
So is it Taker or is it Shawn?
I put Shawn over Taker just because Taker had the streak, but when it came to selling tickets and putting on 5-star matches,
the first ever in multiple matches, first Hell in a Cell,
and this is a question,
first Elimination Chamber,
who did they
first Iron Man.
They called Shawn that, Mr. WrestleMania, they called him that?
Because he always put on 5-star.
Or Showstopper.
But he's got
the icon.
I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to Shawn.
But at the same time,
Shawn didn't create those names.
No, he didn't.
The company did.
Exactly.
Shawn was the Heartbreak Kid.
At the same time, he's got one of the worst records at WrestleMania.
Oof.
True, but did he arguably win one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time? Iron Man match against Bret Hart.
Easy.
He went into overtime. Shawn hit the super kick. He rolled up Bret. 1, 2, 3. The boyhood dream became a reality.
I'll give it to Shawn.
So Shawn?
Yeah. With the streak being broken, it's just like, and it sucks bad.
I'm not going to say it ruins The Undertaker, but it ruins his WrestleMania.
No, if you look back on The Undertaker, what does he have outside of that?
Shawn, it didn't matter if the title was on the line or not. If you were wrestling on the card with Shawn, you had the match of the night.
And then to let Taker lose again to
Roman at the time, no. Roman now?
At WrestleMania?
Yeah. But Roman now,
never.
All right, let's talk about the Bloodline.
Never.
I have to ask.
I'll hate a bunch of people. The Bloodline.
Roman now.
The Bloodline is the worst faction of all time.
The Bloodline?
Yeah, trash.
What?
I'll go watch fucking.
See, me and him.
That's
the funny thing about me and him. Is we're such a fucking me and him, when it's just me and him thinking, we'll get together on anything. But like if you ask us, me and him, for our opinions, a lot of the times you'll get different. But like when it's us two in the fucking ring together, you will not get
Roman with the Shield, trash.
No.
Rollins and
career
Ambrose
trash.
/
This is what I think. This is what I think of WWE today. They're all just guys. There's no fucking gimmicks. There's no characters.
Roman and the Bloodline are the one.
It gets to Attitude Era.
You got Sami Zayn in there.
The Rock's cousin.
You got CeeLo Sikoa.
Rikishi's nephew. That's all it is. Oh, I'm family of these Hall of Famers, so push me.
We the one. That's all I'm saying.
I'm Hall of Famers family, so push me to the top because my family was good. And I know people like, you only need 5 moves. You only need. And a lot of people like this wrestling. You only need 5 moves. If you cannot wrestle like Kurt Angle and Benoit and fucking Dean Malenko, I don't think you're a good wrestler. If you don't have no technical skill and you got 7 moves like Cena, and I mean, yes, Cena's one of the greats because he can sell tickets. I know that's what it's about, making money. I know that's all they care about is making money.
Yep.
But when it's all said and done, if you're a true wrestling fan, you're not gonna put guys like Roman and Cena and fucking guys like that at the top. I mean, Taker could wrestle. He had more than 5 fucking moves. The dude could somewhat wrestle, so I could see why people's arguing with people like him and Sting. But what does Cena have other than his 5 moves? You saw what happened when he tried to incorporate new moves. Botch.
SWS, can I maybe shoot you a question for the show? Just for the show?
I mean, we are making history. What's
we
up?
We are fucking going off right now. Do you watch much NXT?
I do.
What do you think about the motherfucking Creed brothers? If you've watched them.
Animals.
Built different. Definitely a fan. I will say this. It's hard for me personally to watch NXT since they went bright colors. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, they're going back to black and gold. Mm-hmm. Triple H, has taken over the company for Vince. I think Hunter's going to do great things. And that, I want to say that CM Punk, one of my personal favorites, was wrong. Obviously, he said this company would be taken over by your doofus son-in-law. We all know the speech. I think Hunter's doing great things. The black and gold brand coming back. I wish they'd go back to the old logo. I get it. You're promoting your thing. Mm-hmm. But yes, great tag team. I would put them with the Viking Raiders.
That's a good. I love that.
I would like to see them, and no, I'm going to take that back. I would like to see them with War Machine.
Let me give you a little background on the Creed brothers, okay? Julius Creed, a.k.a., and I might not be able to think of his... Fuck! Alright, I'll just skip that. Julius Creed, a.k.a. ex-Duke Wrestling, D1, NCAA, heavyweight All-American. The dude is a fucking stud. His brother was a state placer multiple times. Both of them are studly. If we got in the ring with them, they might have a chance, considering how good I am and how good he is. They were pretty damn good on the collegiate level, but where I'm going with this is the competition level and the level of wrestling that's going to start happening in those four corners, that square circle, is going to be out of the fucking mind of some of these amateur guys, such as the Bulletproof Posse and the rest of ACW. I'm telling you right now, there ain't a guy in ACW that can flat out wrestle me and the Rooster. They're going to need a weapon. They're going to need numbers games. They're going to need a ref. Because if it was just flat out wrestling, it'd be a double pinfall every single time.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Now, you put the Dirty Birds up against the Creed brothers, multiple time All-Americans and state placements and this and that. We'll give them 3 minutes. But what I'm saying is, a 30-second match is a lot better than a 3-minute match. So I really got some respect for the Creed brothers.
Okay.
And another guy that's like that, is you brought up NXT, and we were talking about favorites, and I don't know why I spaced it. We were talking about Steiner brothers. I think he's the next face of the company, the badass Braun Breaker.
Oh, fuck.
Shout
out Braun Breaker.
Here's the reason I like him.
Respect. I like that dude. Fuck. He could join.
Here's the reason I like him. He can wrestle technically. He can powerhouse motherfuckers like Goldberg. He's got...
look.
I can't believe he's got the look, but I'm saying it. He's got the baddest spear of all time. No, watch his spears. You haven't seen him yet. I hate to say it, but he finally...
I'm not a big spear guy.
Finally, someone topped fucking Rhino in a spear.
I was about to say, I'm not a big spear
I don't know.
guy. But you know what I do like?
Gore!
I gotta say Roman.
Not top 5.
I gotta say Roman. Roman's got... to me, Roman's got the number 2 spot when it comes to the spear.
Goldberg first.
I'm not a Goldberg fan.
You don't think
I
he has the best,
Goldberg.
But spear-wise.
No.
Yes.
Who has the best spear?
Edge.
Adam! No way, SWS!
Soft.
Edge.
No way!
If he speared me, I would do this.
Bro.
If he speared me, I would do
Gotta
this.
go Edge.
Dude, bro.
What the fuck was that?
Gotta go Edge.
No.
Gentlemen, I want to, as we wind this down, there is actually a new segment. We're going to get into this.
History is making tonight.
We are going to make history. I have one more question
Ain't got enough of those in yet.
Before we get to history making stuff. We will start with, let's go ahead and go Rooster. One-on-one WrestleMania match. Any opponent you want. Dead, alive, anybody. Who would you go with? You've got...
Who would I go with?
You got a 20-minute match.
Anybody in the world.
Anybody in the world.
Anybody.
Indies, anything.
WrestleMania.
Just because of storytelling, and it'd be a 5-star fucking match, mark my words. Goose versus Rooster.
Can we go partner for partner?
Oh, yeah. Just tell me that wouldn't be amazing.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's piggyback off this. And I'm going to go ahead and do it because I'm going to ask the question because that's what we do here. Who is the Sean? Who's the Jannetty? Who's the Bubba Ray Dudley? Who's the Devon
That's
Dudley?
a better question right there. Bubba was kind of more of the crazy one, so I'd be kind of more of the Bubba. Devon was kind of laid back and soft talking, but whooped ass. He'd definitely be Devon.
Okay. Goose?
I'd have to agree with that one. This one's definitely Bubba Ray. He's a loud son of a bitch.
And I know you guys are like, oh, you're saying that because he's your partner. Nah, if you want to look at good technical style match, and then we were that far in our careers, in the storytelling, oh, these guys have been together since day one, they split, now there's a story, what happened. Dude, it would be a 5-star fucking beatdown.
And like I told you earlier, if there's any two dudes in ACW that can pull off any fucking move you said right now, it'd be me and him. Cash and Grubb couldn't do it.
Ooh.
Or Cash and Terrell couldn't do it. The BPP couldn't do it. If it was a tag team move, Kelly Club couldn't do it. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to moves in wrestling and being on that mat,
Athleticism in general.
Athleticism, strength, and size. There ain't a soul in ACW that can
You've
fuck
been
with
in
us.
training. How many other guys you see picking up the big bearded bastard and Cam and then?
It's true.
This guy's sidewalk slim, 400-pound man.
Nobody else is doing that because
I've watched
we're
training
built
matches.
different.
Like, I get it, and I've been at training. I've watched training.
Tanner Kelly's about 120 pounds and can fly off the top rope. Guess what? Peep the t-shirt. I jump higher. I'm 200.
This is true. Gentlemen,
Soaring like a bird.
My last question. I'm trying to be biased here. My last question before we go into...
I saw the shots fired.
Before we go into the a new segment. We're going to do a new segment here. Again, we're making history. We're going to do stuff, man. I'm honored to have the Dirty Birds on the set, obviously. My last question is this. You're facing each other.
Mm-hmm.
What stipulations on the line?
I say to make it 5-star, we're going Iron Man.
Goose?
We're going Iron Man.
Can you go 60?
60 men,
60 with the
classic,
60
old
with the
school,
60 with the
mean,
fucking Rooster.
ruthless, nose to nose, beat down fight.
60 with the Rooster.
Oh, it'd be rough. We'd be dead after.
Oh, fuck,
We'd be laying in that ring
man.
20 minutes trying to catch our breath after.
Is
But it was
60 Rooster going to go 60 minutes?
Fuck. That's asking a lot of the Goose, man. 60 with the Rooster's tough for anybody. Fuck. But yeah, I'd go 60-minute Iron Man with the Rooster just for the fans.
I want to ask you guys this.
They pay to see it.
Obviously, you guys love your fans, man. Before we go into a new segment, I'm going to change the platform up a little bit, if you will. You guys have the camera. You guys say what you want. You can start how you want. Who starts, that's y'all's business, not mine. It's your episode, not mine. I'm sWs. Shootin With Shane. We got Goose. We got Rooster. Gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Come here. I'll tell this boy right now. I'm going to give him a little warning. Bulletproof Posse. I don't give a damn if it's Ricky Guns. I don't give a damn if it's Chris Chaos, the D of SP, or Knuckles. All 4 of you can come out to the ring on October 15th. I don't give a damn. You ain't spent as much time on the mat as me and the Rooster. You ain't worked as hard, and you never will. So if you guys come out there, and I hope it's all 4 of you, the flock will be migrating, and we'll be bird shitting on your ass real quick. Go ahead, tell them, Rooster.
And Guns, you can consider us a drug test. You ain't getting past us.
Gentlemen, with that being said, I'd like to go into a new segment. Strong words from Rooster and Goose, the Dirty Birds.
Yeah,
Strong
I like
words,
to take things to the next level.
Strong words to the Bulletproof Posse. I'd like to do a new segment. So,
Fucking
obviously,
I'll
you
add to
guys.
it. Send it.
Okay. Before we go to the new segment, let's do this.
Damn, this table's circled and runs.
AACW Professional Wrestling, October 15th. You guys are #1 contenders for the AACW World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships.
No, we are the tag
against
team
the Vulgar
champions.
Posse. Before we go to this new segment, obviously there's much love, you know what I mean? But gentlemen, before we go into this fan thing, I just kind of feeling a little warm.
Oh, you really gonna do it? You're really gonna fucking do it, huh?
It's just, it's a little warm on
I
the
fucking
SWS.
hate this, man.
It's a little warm on the SWS set, ladies and
man.
gentlemen. Obviously, I've chosen my sides.
Yep.
And that's on site, and I know that's just too sweet. Gentlemen, we have chosen sides. I've appreciated you guys being on here. Ladies and gentlemen, as you admire my shirt, let's go into the first ever Fatal 4-Way Fans Questionnaire. Here we go. The Fans Fatal 4-Way. Here we go. I have scouted fans. And here's the first question. How did you guys discover AACW?
Yeah, it is getting awful warmer in here from the old dirty birds. Too.
I'm going to keep
Shit.
mine
I'll
on.
tell you how he's
Because
gonna
I'll
show you. I'll tell you. We're coming and we're ready. I'll tell you what. When we did Heroes and Legends, this man, and arguably one of the guys that are topping probably the real life bad motherfucker up there with us, the man Damien DeVille said, hey, you guys are some badasses like me. Why don't you come down to the show? Let's see what happens. Next thing you know, we're just supposed to be in a battle royal for a couple minutes, and we end up being the final guys because we're whooping ass. The next show, we fight these two fucking scrubs, and we're like, damn, they fucking dominated them. Let's put them in the title match. We're in the Fatal 4-Way. We're in there, and if you watch the highlights, we're over there beating down Mr. fucking Ricky Fat Ass Buns. I came in with a mean super high clothesline, put chaos on his ass. He put chaos on his ass.
Twice.
They got one or two moves a piece on the Dirty Birds, but we were whooping ass the whole match. We go outside, see Heterix and fucking little fat boy Cruz, and we're out there beating the shit out of them. And they take over what we did to get a 1, 2, 3 and call themselves a chance for the work we did. We beat everybody's asses in that goddamn ring. And you know it. Watch the highlights.
Setting up with your t-shirt, bud.
I mean, I'm just saying, man, like, I'm with who I'm with. I know who is going to kick ass and who's not. I'm just saying. I am so
And Mr. Guns,
excited to see
Mr.
this
Guns,
shit.
you've heard this quote before, as Bobby P would say, you don't know shit.
You don't know shit, buddy.
Gentlemen, the second fan question that I have for you as I dust my Bulletproof Posse t-shirt off. If you both were single competitors, what championship would you guys go for?
In
Goose,
any
we'll start
company?
with you. In any company. WWE, WCW, ECW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hog Wrestling, Heroes, I don't care.
Rooster.
Hey, how many of them shirts are out?
I don't know. We'll be selling hell of these at the show October 15th.
Because I'm pretty sure we sold thousands of merch already, by the way. But anyways, go ahead and answer the question,
Yeah.
Goose.
Yeah, if I could go for any title of all time, anytime, anywhere, any place, it would be the WCW Big Gold, 1998. I'd take out Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Painted or non-painted?
Ooh.
Fuck it, painted. I'd take it right off his
Ooh.
lap. I'd fucking take it right off his lap. I'd drown him in his own sorrows and send him down to TNA in 04.
Rooster?
I think this tattoo should show enough right here. As an American-bred country folk, I'm going after that United States Championship, and I'm making it the top belt of all time, and ain't nobody taking it from me, and that's the American way.
Yeah.
Just
Gentlemen,
saying.
the
Just
third
saying. Y'all
fan
ain't fucking
question.
ready.
The third fan question. Who is your inspiration in the ring as a role model for both of you? That is actually a very highly asked question because I've asked a lot of people and they want to know who is your inspiration in the ring, but who is your inspiration outside of the ring as people? Gentlemen?
Is this for us to both answer or each individual?
Both.
Personally, I know
The fans want to know.
You know,
Rooster and Goose's
I don't
answer.
mean this no disrespect to anybody in my family or nothing. You know, they've helped me a lot. But there's one guy that no matter what happened, stuck his neck out, and it's Peru High School legendary coach Derek Fuller. I look up to him more than just about anybody besides my father. My father has taught me a lot, but Derek Fuller from Peru High School. Anytime I was in a rough patch, you know. I'll get personal, you know, and kind of go off a little bit. But in high school, I wasn't supposed to graduate because I had very bad English problems. You know, I was a math genius, still am. I can do some math. And he goes, you know what? You failed this test, you don't pass it, you don't graduate. He put me in that room 4, 5, 6 hours a day every day on this ASVAB test or whatever the fuck they call it now, and I aced it 100%. With his help.
Okay.
He got me in there grinding. So, without him, I don't know where I would be, man. He got me on the mat no matter there's been times I was like, God, fuck this shit. I started my season 5-6-0, took my first loss. I was like, I'm done. Nope, I don't like taking L's. And he's like, you ain't going nowhere. That man never gave up on me. Not to say that my father didn't. My father's taught me different things and aspects of life, but like through high school, because you know your parents work so much, it's hard for them to be there full time.
Absolutely.
You know they did everything they could. It's not dogging them, but outside of that, school and in school and just all around general, you know, if I needed someone to talk to, like, hey, let's go to this place, we'll eat, have the word, he's always been there. So he's like a second father to me. So definitely Derek Fuller.
Goose?
Hey, shout out D Fuller, man. I feel the same way about the dude. He's a legend, but I gotta go one step up. I gotta one up my boy here, Andy Hobbs and
Hall
Bob.
of Famer.
Andy Hobbs and Bob Prescott, my high school head coach and my high school wrestling and football head coach. I want to be a head coach someday. I want to run my own wrestling program. I want to run my own football program. And those dudes taught me nothing but how to do it. And I appreciate them for it.
You know what look good? You know what look good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now you look like a man.
Now you look good, man.
I don't know. I kind of like this one, though.
Yeah, all rusted up and cranky.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah, that's Goodwill fabric. We got the Gucci brand.
You boys some dirty bird gear. Quick.
Gentlemen, my last fan question again, and again, this goes out to the SWS fans,
I
the
like
Dirty
these fan
Bird
questions.
fans.
They're deep.
It goes out to everybody who participated when I started doing this. This was supposed to be something for season 3. Season 3 is going to be huge, but this right here feels like it should be season 3.
Yeah.
So I try to make it feel like it's season 3.
Yeah, because we like that. We like
So
that.
my last
Start
fan-
history early.
So my last fan question is, and again, I've reached, and if you know who you are and you've heard your questions, here's my thing, because I love you guys. I really do. I love the fans. So here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, these questions are great.
If you heard your question, shoot me a DM. Get up in my DMs, and I will give you a free SWS t-shirt because I had a lot of questions asked, and I went through them personally. A good friend of mine, we'll say that, went through these questions. If you've heard one of your 4 questions asked, please get in my DMs, and I'll make sure you guys get an SWS t-shirt. So the last fan question says this. If you could be in any promotion, what would it be and why? Goose, we'll go with you first.
That's easy.
Any promotion in the world is what she said. So.
That's easy.
Hey, shout out to the fan, man. Like I said, we love these questions, man. The fan questions have been awesome, but that one's pretty obvious, man. WWE, man. If you ain't on the show, you got to go. That's it. That's all there is. You know, you could be on AEW, but they're running through them right now. If you're a guy on AEW, you're running through the roster real quick. If you're a guy in WWE, you're written contract, man. That means you fucking made it. So that's the goal.
100% agree, you know, growing up with that, you know, and I'll say this because I'm a committed person. I'm 100% into whatever I do. I'm so committed to WWE, I don't even watch that other show. Like, he watched it back when it started, but now it's kind of, like I said, and I've said since day one, they ain't gonna make it. You can't compete with Vince, especially Hunter running it the way he's running it now. You ain't competing. But right now, it'd definitely be the WWE, whether it was Attitude Era, Golden Era, or even this era that I'm not a big fan of, but I'm a diehard WWE fan, and that's because they've created the greatest talents, the created characters, and the greatest dudes you'll ever hear. I mean, you hear these Omegas, and everybody, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, you know Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you know who The Undertaker is, you know guys like that, and you know the Hulkster, you know the ooh yeah, the Macho Man Randy's,
that's right.
You know them. Now you go to other companies, you're like, I ain't heard of him. I mean, I get it, even if you're a big wrestling fan, you're hardcore into it, but I like a company that's like, hey, you may not be a wrestling fan, but you know who this redneck beer drinking, I'm going to beat up my boss and do whatever the hell I want, rattlesnake, redneck, son of a bitch is.
Absolutely.
You know who this movie acting, Hawaiian, fucking big Samoan, layeth the smackdown, best on the mic, trash talking motherfucker there ever is. You know this guy that no matter how many times you kill him and bury him and burn him, he's going to come back from the dead and come better and whoop that ass. So they've done that. And what's AEW done? Oh, this guy was a WWE star. Let's take him here. This guy was a WWE star. Him. This guy. I mean, they got a couple guys that came from other shows, but you're just getting old dudes that are washed up that couldn't do anything anymore and making them the guys. Like, no disrespect to my guy. You may as well fucking sign Goldberg. You may as well fucking put Flair in another retirement match. You may as well fucking call in them old fucks that can't do it anymore, because that's where you're headed. And that's why Hunter, mark my words, 2 to 5 years, AEW's gone. Gone. That's it. So WWE will always be the number one.
Strong words from Rooster towards WWE /WWF /AEW. Goose, your response to that?
I'm 100% with him. Like I said earlier, we may not get along on some things, but some things we're right down the line on, and that's one of them, man. I can't agree with him more. If you don't love the sport, you don't love the men in it, and you don't love what it came from, then get the hell out of it.
And nowadays, because they're respected in the promotion, you gotta love the women too, because they actually get an opportunity to wrestle. They get an opportunity to shine and show how athletic they are. I mean, don't get us wrong. As teenage boys, we love seeing the little brawls and bikinis matches and stuff like that. But nowadays, seeing these actual women get to actually wrestle and put in work and seeing how athletic they are, you're like, damn, they're better than most of the men out there. I mean, they're doing things that some of the men can't do. So not just loving the men, but loving the women on the shows too.
Sure.
Don't want to leave the women felt left out by any means. So if y'all feel left out, don't take that as a disrespect thing. Most of the companies only promote their men stuff more than their women, which finally WWE is letting women do their main events, own pay-per-views and stuff, and it's about time. So I'll give them that too.
Gentlemen, as we wind this down in the next 60 seconds, I want to do this. Red marker. Who wants to sign it first? You guys sign the table? All right. There you go. Guys, as Goose and Rooster sign the table, let's go back to basics, because here's the thing. I feel like I can't get back to basics fast enough. So let me say this. I'm sWs. This is Shootin With Shane. The Dirty Birds are on the podcast, the first ever tag team. So here's my shout outs. Let's go here. Let's go ahead and go to Good Brother Terry. Too sweet, my brother. Thank you for always having my back for life. Let's go to Kelly Club. Thank you guys for having my back. Fuck you, Brian. There's that.
Give him that
let's go ahead and say... Let's go ahead and say...
the smelly Kelly.
Riot Stickers Design. Thanks for making the banner.
Big baby
Appreciate
Brian.
you guys so very much. That's my shout-outs. That's what I got. Have you both signed the table?
Yes, sir.
Then, gentlemen, I will ask you this. My producer obviously can't be here, so if you would like to walk up and say what you'd like and hit stop, I'll end it with...
We gotta finish with the regulars. That's just too,
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Come on, we watch the show. We know what we know what we need. We know what we're in for.
We fans.
Yeah, we're big.
Yeah, Hey, he had to wipe the shit stains
Ah,
off
this guy. This guy.
If you guys would like to walk up, hit the stop button, I'll be more than happy to say this. And that is just... You guys gonna hit the stop button?
Go ahead.
And
Hey.
that is just...
One last warning for BPP.
And that is just too dirty.